Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl D coming to you live. It is 12:30 on a Sunday morning. It's just been a great weekend. I have really enjoyed myself this weekend. There's so many things that I would love to share with you all today on this Sucker Free Sunday. You know, it's just time out for all suckers and busters and everything that's mixed up and in between. You know, I've had a great weekend. I cooked out today. I had company. I fired up the grill. I even baked spaghetti. And, you know, I just sat back with my glass of wine and I just watched everybody. And I just thinking to myself, like, self, you know, this is pretty all right. This is what, living is really about. It's about family, it's about friends, it's about just seeing clearly and understanding what's going on around you at all times, and being honest with yourself and being able to accept everything for what it is as it is presented to you. you know um I just, I'm just having like the time of my life. I'm 3 years from being 40, and I just feel like, I just feel so alive. For the first time in my life, I can kind of just sit back and just kind of, you know, uh, I have my stresses, I have my worries, but at the end of the day, I feel like I know who I am. I feel like I know where I'm going. I feel like I know what I want. I feel like I know what I don't want. And that just feels so free and so freeing and just so, you know, a totally different level of how I used to think. Everything don't always have to be so, positive. And I say that word, and I know you guys like everything gotta be so positive. Well, I just look at it kind of in reverse, because if you have something that's negative in your life, you would think that it would probably be a bad thing. But for me, I just want to be negative of negativity. I want to be negative of the things that just ain't good for me. I want to be negative of the things around me that don't mean a hill of beans. I want to be negative of things that don't make me feel like I am great, I am loved, I am beautiful, I am just everything that a black woman should be. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I just want to vibe with people, and I just want to, mix and mingle in different worlds, and just, really express myself as a human being. In order to do that, you have to have an open heart. You have to have an open mind. You have to have patience. You have to have endurance. You have to have all those great things and qualities about yourself that make other people love to be in your presence. You don't have to be nobody that you're not. You don't have to be anything that you don't really feel like you are. You can only just be yourself. And being yourself is the most freeing experience a human being can have. I don't know. I'm just going on and on because I'm on one tonight. I just feel like life is just too short. If you can't reach for the best in yourself, if a person that's with you isn't pushing you to be the best in yourself, if they're not exposing you to new things, new wonders, new feelings, new admirations, then you might need to choose another person, because where there is great, there's always greater, and then there's the greatest. So, you just have to be who you are. And in being who you are, sometimes, that attracts the other things that you need in your life or that you want in your world. I think a lot of us focus too much on what we don't want, and we wind up attracting those things to our lives because we are not understanding that what you think on all the time is really how you feel deep inside. We all have our days because we're human. We all have our times where, you just feel like, wow, I don't know, about that, or I don't know about this, or I'm feeling some type of way about that. When you get to that kind of point in your life, that's when you know you need a break, and it's time to sit back, and it's really time to evaluate if it's you or if it's the situation that you're in or the thing that you're involved in. When you sit back and you look over yourself and you do it in honesty, you don't have to be ashamed of anything that you didn't understand or that you went through or anything else, because that is the most freeing experience, to be able to look back and see your own faults. The only way you can do that is if you're not ashamed of them. Once you understand the underlying problem of all things, then you don't need to have any kind of emotional attachment to anything that isn't making you feel like you are just the best thing in the world. And that kind of sounds a little bold for me to even say something like that. But if you guys understood what I understood and how I have been doing the mathematics of life, I feel like, there's some things that as a human, as a being, as just being a person itself with my own mind, that I am so glad that I did get to experience. I think the experience might have been not maybe to my best interest at heart, but it was also an experience that I was able to learn a lesson from. Now, if you look back and you can't look back on your experiences or your lessons or what if you have to cover them up and put them in the dirt, then you ain't really learned nothing from it. You really not ready to free yourself from it. You still want to hold it over your own head, and then you wondering why it keep coming back around. The only reason why anything will come back around is because we keep manifesting it in our lives, And the thing is, I have just come to the point in my life where I just don't want to deal with stuff like that no more. I don't want to be bothered with stuff like that no more. I just want to chill, I just want to sit back for a change and just chill. I don't need no drama. I don't need no validation. I don't need nobody sizing me up. I just want people to see me for who I am and to accept me for who I am. I don't want to have to put on shenanigans. I don't want to have to stoop to no kind of level or pretend I'm bougie when I'm not. I want to be exactly who the hell you see right now. I just want to be myself, and if a person can't appreciate me for who I really am deep down inside, if, I'm not saying that I'm the, person laying on the side of the corner drunk and want somebody to, pick me up after I done pissed and shit and vomited all over myself. That's not me. So, if I'm just saying, this is me, what's the problem? I've learned something this weekend. And it's one thing when you hear of something, but it's another thing when you witness of it. Because every experience that you have, it don't have to mean that you went through it. You can just see it from afar. And one thing that I've understood about a lot of people, they do a whole lot of parading. They do a whole lot of cheering on, but they do it on a top surface level. They don't do it on a deep admiration to see another person make it. They don't do it on a level that they come from their heart and say, you know what, I want to see you make it, or I want to see you make something of yourself, or make something of your life, or do something with yourself besides what I see you doing. But let a person be down and out, or let a person be going through some rough stuff, then you got everything in the world to say. But if a person do something positive, if somebody does something that is for the good, then all of a sudden shit get like crickets in the room. So, this is my thing, I think that the human experience is one of the best experiences that anybody could have. I think being a being on earth is like one of the highest privileges you can have, because in that being you have free will, and in that free will you have the rights to do whatever you feel is needed for yourself at that time. Whatever it is that you feel at that time that you need, you are allowed to access it, and you are allowed to get it. If that is something that is going to be put up for judgment, then you know, just make sure that the thing that you're judging is really what it is. You know, I feel like if a lot of people would just stop sometimes and take the time to just think about just little small things in life. You know, watch the flowers bloom. You know, watch the cars drive by the house. You know, just sit back sometimes and just inhale it all in and just kind of, you know, relax and relate to it. You know, look at it from a different angle sometimes. Stop looking at everything just because you're not familiar with it or because that's not the way you want to do it or the way that you chose to do it. That if there's anything wrong with it, because everybody is so different and this world is so big. It's enough room for everybody to have a pocket of their own, you know. So I just feel like there's so many things that, you know, could be, you know, just so many things that could be admired by so many other people, but because they don't want to come out of their comfort bubble, or because they don't want to, or they feel like they don't fit in because of a certain way certain people say that you have to be in order to be, you know, amongst them or a part of them or whatever. You know what? I've gotten to the point where I can just relax in who I am, and I can just say, you know what, Adisha, it's going to be okay. You know, it's going to be all right because you're not a fucked up person. You know, people are going to like you because people like you, and there's going to be people that don't like you for no reason other than they just don't like you. And I've come to terms that I'm okay with that. I don't have no beef. I don't have no quarrels with that. The only thing that I'm saying is, you know, just because you were that way, I think everybody deserves a fair chance. You know, I'm not one of those types that like to blow smoke up people's asses. I'm not going ready to promise you no stuff that I can't deliver. If I tell you you can come down here and eat, then you can come down here and eat. That's not a lie. You know what I'm saying? If I got enough and I call you up and I say you invited, don't be feeling no kind of way. You invited. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I got a pot of gold and I know I ain't got a pot of gold. I'm not really into all that. I really just don't. I just can't. I refuse to. I'm a little too old, and it's just as bad to me as people that say the check is in the mail. Oh, I sent that off yesterday. If I ain't got it, man, I ain't got it. Listen, I ain't got it, but I can tell you when I might have it. You know, I just never been, my mom just didn't raise me like that. My dad, he ain't raised me like that. You know, if you did something or if you said something, then you did it or you said it. There shouldn't be no shucking and jiving, and as my old man called it, no buck dancing. You shouldn't be bucking and dancing for people that really ain't gonna take you far. You know, I understand if you tell somebody that you support them, if you tell them that you're behind them, if you tell them that you support what they do, then that's what you should be seeing. You should be seeing the support. You shouldn't be using them for your own desperate needs. You know, there's just sloppy and messy. That's what I call it. So I'm just not like that. I just can't, you know. You have to be a part of society in order to do anything. People ain't gonna find you in the back of the woods tucked in a corner. So in order to do that, you have to mix and mingle. I just refuse to mix and mingle with people that I can't be myself. People don't like my videos because I say a cuss word, but I always tell people, don't worry about my little dirty words. I bet y'all never curse you. You know, there's there's a big definition difference in that. And I'm a person that I'm adamant about words. I'm adamant about how you speak to other people, how you interact with them. You know, I'm just funny. And that's just me. I've always been like that. I'm not going to say that I was a pure 100% angel, because if you do some stuff, I will, I'm going to talk some shit about it. But the thing is, I'm not going to degrade you to the point that, you know, anything that come out my mouth, number one, ain't true. Number two, ain't common sense knowledge. And number three, ain't just the way that I feel about the situation. If I feel like it was foul or wrong, I have the right to say, yeah, that's jacked up. But that other petty shit, I don't do that. Y'all all know by now. I'm just too grown. Y'all too grown too. But that was enough of that. I just had to get that off my chest. That was a whole lot up there too. It's been crazy. I was very blessed this week to meet a sister, and she's doing her thing. I mean, she's doing a thing. I just can't say, I meet women like that all the time. And the thing is, I actually admire them. I don't have no kind of, I mean, I did like her brown shag carpet now. I got 4 kids. I can't have no brown shag carpet. Now, my baby daughter, 10, I might can have a shag carpet. But, I couldn't have no shag carpet. She ain't got no little babies like I had. So I can't have no beige and shag carpet in my living room. But that's about it. You see how petty that was? I mean, just a damn carpet. I want a carpet, a shag one at that, but you ain't hear me say, oh, well, she, that's where I always start having a problem and issue with people, and I wind up back in my little hut down here in the country. Because if you tell me that you support me, don't tell me you support me and I don't never hear from you, I don't never see from you, I don't see you, backing me up or lending a hand or asking me, bringing something to the table as far as an idea of what you think, I can improve. See, that's one thing about a true friend. If they see something, they'll be like, they should be like, you know what, Dee Dee, you know what, da-da-da-da-da, this right here, and, da-da-da, and I know this, that, the other. You don't even get none of that stuff. People do it when they do stuff like that. They do it for their own personal agendas half the time because they need a hookup on something or because they want to act like they're connected to somebody. And you know what? Sometimes that's cool too, because sometimes them fake-ass connections can wind up being some good-ass connections for the other person, and your butt get weeded out because you ain't have no good intentions in the beginning. It was just something you passed off, So I understand that too. I got you on that. But the people that actually don't mind sharing resources, that don't mind breaking bread with a nigga, those are the people that I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that are straight up, people that are honest, people that are I don't have to feel no certain way around. I can be myself. They are free to be themselves. That way we both can know what the hell we dealing with instead of this fake phony shit that I see. Cut the bougie act. I don't do bougie because I might take this wig off and get the plait in my head in the middle of us watching TV. It's not that serious. Trust me. I might take my high heels off and throw on some flip-flops and flip-flop around the rest of the day. You just can't, if I'm not for you, I'm just not for you. If you don't get down with me, you just don't get down with me. But don't come around me with that fake shit because I don't like the fakeness. I don't do fake. I don't do phony. I don't do bologna sandwiches and stuff like that. If it's going to be some bologna and it's going to give me heartburn and make me fart, you can keep it. Simple as that. I know I'm on one tonight. I just seen so much this week. Problems always coming. Every day I tell you guys, I'm like, you know what? I'm having a wonderful day. When I say that, I mean that from my heart. I could be sitting on the side of the road with my car jacked up because I need my tire changed and I got a load of trash on the back of the truck. It is still a beautiful day. Am I not living? Am I not loving? Am I not doing the best that I could damn do? Well, then today is a wonderful damn day. If I was out here gang banging or let niggas suck on the titties and do all kinds of shit to make money, then if I wrote up there, today is a wonderful day, 100,000 y'all would be clicking I like, click, 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 click. It is what it is. So, I just can't. I really can't. I'm just too old for this. Just too old. I have gone over my time. I have expressed myself from my deepest emotional blitz, because that's what this shit is. I've had a wonderful weekend. My son had a little accident. He is feeling better. It's always something. It's never nothing. If somebody's life is never nothing, they can't be living. They can't be. I just can't. I just want everybody to learn to embrace life for what it is and to understand that, We need each other. This isn't a me party. This isn't an I party. This isn't nobody else don't count party. Nobody feelings and emotions and desires are not on the line too. When you uplift each other, then you uplift yourself. When you take yourself out of the equation all the time, me attitude, there's so much more we all could do as a team, as a people, if you on Facebook, then that means we all live the same. Nobody should be acting brand new. So, but that's what I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. You up here, you still, yeah, you up here for a reason too. So with that said, I think I will close it off for tonight. I love you all dearly and sincerely. It's been a sucker-free Sunday. I don't know. It ain't been no sucker-free week, but it's been a sucker-free Sunday. I plan on cutting off my phone tomorrow. I plan on chilling. I plan on hanging out some more with my family before the week starts, because we all got to hit back to the grind again. I love you all. I respect you all. I expect the same things in return. And if you don't, you live with it. It's not my problem. Peace and blessing. I'm your girl D.